Hello students. Today we are going to study chapter number 13 of science. The name of the chapter is Fun with Magnets. I'm very sure students that you must have played with magnet. But have you ever think how these magnets were discovered? There is a story behind the invention of magnet. So let's see the story. There was a shepherd named Magnus who lived in the town of Magnesia in Greece. He used to take his herd of sheep and goats to the nearby mountains for grazing. He would take a stick with him to control his herd. The stick had a small piece of iron attached at one end. One day he was surprised to find that he had to pull hard to free his stick from a rock on the mountain side. It seemed as if the stick was being attracted by the rock. You can see in the picture that how the stick stuck with the rock. Actually, the rock was a natural magnet and it attracted the iron tip of the shepherd's stick. So this is how natural magnets was discovered. So such rocks which were given the name magnetite perhaps after the name of that shepherd. Some people also believe that rock was named magnetite because it was first discovered at a place called Magnesia. Now students, some people believe that magnetite, the name, was given after the name of the shepherd because the name of the shepherd was Magnus. And some people believes that rock was named magnetite because it was discovered at a place Magnesia, which was in Greece. Magnetite is a natural magnet. The term magnet is derived from word magnetite. Now students, do magnets attract all types of objects? Let's see. Here we have some objects like ball, pins, pieces of wood, leather shoes, glass, fabric and all pins. So let's check that all objects are attracted by magnet or not. So if you keep the magnet closer to the ball, it was not stuck. It is not stuck on the magnet. Similarly, you have to do this activity one by one with all the kinds of materials. But you experience that only iron nails and pins got stuck by the magnet. So what it means? It means all materials are not attracted towards magnet. Only iron materials are attracted towards magnets. So on the basis of this, we have divided all the materials into two categories, magnetic and non-magnetic materials. Magnetic materials. The materials which get attracted towards a magnet are called as magnetic materials. For example, iron, steel, nickel, cobalt. And non-magnetic materials, the materials which are not attracted towards a magnet are called as non-magnetic materials. For example, wood, stainless steel, plastic, glass, cloth, rubber, etc. Now students, steel is attracted by magnet, but stainless steel is not attracted by magnet. Remember this difference, okay? Now let's have a look that objects made of iron, steel, nickel and cobalt are attracted by magnets. Now see, if you check once again, we have done this activity before also, that ball, fabric, leather shoes, plastic toys, wooden piece, glass, stainless steel spoon, these are not attracted by the magnet. Only pins or iron nails or material made of iron are attracted by magnet. So I hope you understood. So let's have a question for you. Materials which are attracted by magnets are called as magnetic material or non-magnetic materials. Yes, you are right. Magnetic materials. One more question. Which of the following substance will not be attracted by magnet? Very nice. Paper. Because iron nail is attracted by magnet. Steel spoon is attracted by magnet. Safety pin is attracted by magnet. But paper is not attracted by magnet. One more question. A tailor was stitching buttons on his shirt. The needle has slipped from his hand onto the floor. Can you help the tailor to find the needle? Now students, you must have seen that needle is a very small thing, very tiny, and if it slipped on the floor, so it is very difficult to find it. So if you take magnet closer to the needle will stuck on the magnet. In this way you can help. Okay. Now see, so many oil pins are spread over in there on ground. Now how you have to collect it? If you collect one by one, it is time consuming. It takes so much time. So instead of that, if you put magnet closer to it, then what happens? All the pins are stuck to the magnet and you have collected easily. Okay. Similarly, if you want to find something from the dustbin and it is made of iron, so what would you do? Just you have to take a magnet closer to the dustbin. All the iron material stuck on the magnet, and it is a easier way. It is not time consuming and it is a easier way to collect the magnet. Things made by iron. Okay. Now, I think you must understood about the magnet. That magnet is an object that has a property of attracting metals like iron, steel, nickel and cobalt. Now let's see about the types of magnets. There are two types of magnets. First one is natural magnets and another are artificial magnets. Natural magnets are naturally found in nature. For example, magnetite, which is also called iron ore, and the chemical property of iron ore is Fe3O4. Artificial magnets are created by man artificially. For example, bar magnet, horseshoe, magnet, cylindrical magnet, etc. You can see in the picture, these are the different magnets which are made by man. Bar magnet, cylindrical magnet, horseshoe magnet, ball-ended magnet, ring magnet. All these are artificial magnets which are created by man. Now, let's look at activity. Take a plastic on a paper cap. Fix it on a stand with the help of a clamp. Place a magnet inside the cup and cover it with a paper so that the magnet is not visible. Attach a thread to a clip made of iron. Fix the other end of the thread at the base of the stand. Bring the clip near the base of the cup. Now students, you have to do this activity that you have to take a plastic or a paper cup and you have to fix it on a stand with the help of a clamp. Then you have to place a magnet inside the cup and cover it with the paper. Means you have to cover the whole paper cup or plastic cup what you have taken. Okay. And you have to cover it that magnet is not visible. And then you have to take a thread and a clip which is made of iron, and you have to fix the thread at the base of the stand. And then you have to bring the clip near the base of the cup. So what will happen if you do this activity? The clip is raised in air without support like a kite. And why it is so? Because of the attraction of magnet. So this is the example of attraction of magnet. Okay. Look, one more example. Whether a soil sample is magnetic or not. Now we know that soil is everywhere, but soil has magnet or not. That soil, we can consider soil as a magnetic material or non-magnetic material. So this activity is for that. Now you have to rub a magnet in the sand or soil. Through such an activity, we can find out whether the soil or sand from a given place contains particles that have iron. Now you can see in the picture that 3 magnets are given A, B, C. Okay. So in the picture A, you can see that many particles are stuck on the ends of the magnet. That means this soil is magnetic soil. That means soil contains iron material. Okay. In picture B, little bit particles are there. So means this soil contains less iron material. And in picture C, you can see no sand is stuck on the magnet. That means this kind of soil has no iron materials. Okay. Now let's move ahead to poles of magnet. Spread some iron fillings on a sheet of paper. Now place a bar magnet on this sheet. What do you observe? Now, do the iron fillings stick all over the magnet? Do you observe that more than iron fillings get attracted to some parts of the magnet than others? You can do this activity using pins or iron nails in place of iron filings and also with magnets of different shapes. Now students, what you have to do an activity that you have to spread some iron filings on a sheet of paper, or you can take iron nails or pins also. Then you have to place a bar magnet on that sheet. Then observe what happens. How these iron material or magnetic material attract. So you will observe that most of the iron fillings get attracted towards the two ends of the bar magnet. These ends are the poles of the magnet. You can see in the picture also that iron filings which we spread on the paper sheet, it is stuck to the magnet, but on the two ends, it is stuck more on the two ends instead the middle one. Okay. So the regions of magnet where the attraction power of magnet is strongest is called as poles of magnet. A magnet has two poles, North Pole and South Pole. North Pole is represented by letter N and South Pole is represented by letter S, as you can see in the picture also. So all these magnets, cylindrical magnet, bar magnet, horseshoe magnet, ball-ended magnet or ring magnet, all have two poles. One pole is North Pole and other is South Pole. Upper one is North Pole and lower one is South Pole. You can see in this picture also. Now, have you ever think that when we cut the magnet, then what do you think? That South Pole and North Pole get separated? Or can a magnet has one pole only? No. The magnet has, when we break a magnet, it forms two separate magnets with their own north and south pole. So if you are thinking that if you break the magnet and then it has only one pole, this is wrong. Okay. When you break a magnet, it forms two separate magnets with their own north and south poles. You can see in the picture, when we break the magnet, it develops their own poles. One is south pole and another is north pole. So it means magnetic poles always exist in pairs. Now let's see a question. Attraction power of magnet is maximum at poles. We can see we already seen in the activity that iron fillings were attracted on the ends of the bar magnet. That means on the poles. Ends are called poles of the magnet. One more question. Can two poles of a magnet be separated from each other? Correct. Your answer is no. We cannot separate poles of a magnet. Okay. And the poles are North Pole and South Pole. Now, how we can know that the pole, which pole is north and which is south? So for this, let's have an activity. Now take a bar magnet, put a mark on one of its ends for identification. Now tie a thread at the needle of the magnet so that you may suspend it from a wooden stand. Make sure that the magnet can rotate freely. Means you have to tie a magnet like that it can rotate freely in any direction. Rotate the magnet in different directions and note the final direction in which it comes to rest. Now you have to rotate the magnet and wait that till the magnet comes to rest. You will find that the magnet always comes to rest in the same direction. That means a freely suspended bar magnet always comes to rest in north-south direction. Now, how will you say that this is north and this is south? So for that, use the direction of the rising sun in the morning to find out the rough direction towards east. If you stand facing east, to your left will be north and the opposite direction will be south. Using this, you can figure out which end of the magnet is pointing to the north and which points to the south. Now this we know very well that if we stand facing towards the sun, the direction is east. Okay. And on our left it will be north and on our right it will be south direction. And when we observe this activity, that a magnet comes to rest every time in the same direction. So the direction which pointing to our left is north and which is pointing to our right is south. Okay. The end of the magnet that points towards north is called its north-seeking end or the north pole of the magnet. The other end that points towards the south is called south-seeking and or the south pole of the magnet. So that means all magnets have two poles, whatever their shape may be. Usually north and south poles are marked on the magnets. Now let's answer this question. A freely suspended magnet comes to rest in dash direction: east-west, north-south, northeast, southwest. Correct. It comes to rest in north-south direction. So I hope you understood up to here the content. I conclude this session here. We will meet soon again in our next session. Till then, bye-bye. Take care.